Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD and I'm back with another quick video. Today's video, I came out here to the north shore of Oahu, out here kicking it, chilling, out here at this beach called Waimea. Give you guys a little sneak peek of where I'm at. But anyways, that's just a little sneak peek of where I'm at. I just felt like taking a drive today and kind of giving myself a little bit of time, giving myself a little bit of space to breathe. But today I wanted to make a video talking about, what exactly does it mean to keep it real? You hear that phrase all the time, and a lot of times it can have like some negative connotations to it in terms of like what is keeping it real. So basically I want to make this video because recently I got into a little conversation with somebody because they were kind of insinuating that I'm a little uppity or, whatever they might have been trying to, convey to me. But they were basically telling me, I kind of run through the story. Basically, we were talking about this neighborhood in Hawaii, and I'm not going to say the neighborhood, but I was just telling the person that, I really don't like going over there. Like, I'm cool off going over there. Like, that's not the reason why I moved out here. Like, I've been living in Hawaii for like 4 years. The reason why I moved out here is because what's true to me is that I like being in nature. I like being in peaceful environments. You know what I mean? I like being in environments where I can enjoy beautiful scenery, the beach, go on hikes, eat healthy, have access to healthy foods, whatever it may be. That's just what I like. That's being true to myself. And I got into a conversation with somebody and I forget what we were even talking about, but I was like, oh yeah, that's over there in whatever area. I'm cool off going over there. Like, I didn't move to Hawaii to be in that little type of environment. And they were like, oh, damn, man, that's not keeping it real. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, why is that not keeping it real? Like, why keeping it real should mean being true to yourself. Keeping it real should mean, first and foremost, keeping it real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You know what I mean? Not conforming to what other people think that you should be doing, or whatever type of environments that people think that you should be living in, whatever type of, stereotypical things that people think that you should be doing with your life. That's not keeping it real. That's actually keeping it fake. And I kind of went down like a rabbit hole with this, just thinking about it in terms of like when I was younger, I was always trying to live up to what other people thought that I should be, or what other people, I was trying to live up to a certain image of what I thought, a black man is, or, whatever the situation is. This doesn't necessarily have to do with just your race. I was just trying to live up to a certain image, and it wasn't keeping it real with myself. I was actually keeping it way fake. You know what I mean? I was like trying to be somebody who I really wasn't. And, when I was a kid, I was extremely into geography. I was extremely into like zoology, marine biology, all this type of stuff. When I was a kid, I could tell you all different types of facts about every single animal in Africa. I knew how fast cheetahs ran, how fast a leopard ran, what was the biggest, the most poisonous snake in Africa, whatever the information was about animals, hyenas, all of it. I knew about it all. That's all I was into when I was a kid. I was super into it. I used to draw freehand maps of Africa with all the countries and all the capitals, everything. I was just super into that type of stuff when I was a kid. But once I hit about 11, maybe like 10, not 11 years old. Once I hit like 9 or 10 years old, I started trying to fit in. And once I started trying to fit in, I kind of left my passions to the side. And that's when I started playing sports. Nothing wrong with playing sports. I love sports till this day. I'm glad I started playing sports. But you can do two things at once. You can be multifaceted. But I started putting everything into what I thought I was supposed to be, because that's what everybody else was doing in the area that I lived. That's what everybody else was doing in, the school that I went to or whatever. I started playing basketball, football, whatever it may be, just trying to fit in with the in crowd. And that was like the beginning of me like keeping it fake and not keeping it real with myself. So I just basically wanted to make this video talking about how keeping it real is just keeping it real with yourself. And a lot of times what people mean, especially when it comes down to black people, when it talks about keeping it real, is that, keeping it real for us is accepting less. Keeping it real for us is accepting lower quality standards of life. Keeping it real for us is living in a low income neighborhood. Keeping it real for us is, slumming it. You know what I mean? Like, nah, that's not the way I want to live my life. I want the best things in life. I want the best experiences in life. I want to live in a safe and peaceful neighborhood. That's keeping it real. Keeping it real is not doing what other people think that you're supposed to be doing. Keeping it real is not behaving and moving through life like a character or like some stereotypical, image that you might see on television. Like, that's not keeping it real, or some stereotypical image that you might see on social media. So you got to keep it real with yourself first and foremost, and then you can keep it real with others. You know what I mean? So keeping it real with others is a whole nother aspect, and just being honest. So don't let people, push you into the direction of feeling that you need to accept less, or feel like, by you wanting the better things in life or better experiences, being in a peaceful place, being in a nice neighborhood, you know what I mean? That was another thing, actually. One more thing. The same person kind of was giving me shit about buying a first class ticket, and like the fact that I said when I travel international, I like to fly first class. That's just something that I like to do. It makes me feel comfortable. You know what I mean? I'm a 6 foot tall, 185 pounds sometimes man. You know what I mean? Like, I like to have some space. I don't like to be crammed into a seat. I like to have some comfort. Like, you can call that uppity, you can call that not keeping it real, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Some people think leaving the country and moving to another place abroad isn't keeping it real. I remember when I was living in Japan, I had some friends back in the Bay Area out in Oakland, and they was basically telling me that I wasn't keeping it real because I was living in Japan. I thought I was too good to be in the Bay Area. I thought I was too good to be around everybody else that I grew up around. And they was also talking about I wasn't keeping it real because I had a Japanese girlfriend. So I was keeping it real with myself. That's what I wanted at the time. I wanted to live in Japan. I wanted to date who I wanted to date. If it was a Japanese girl, it was a Japanese girl. Don't trip off what everybody else says, man. You don't have to live your life for anybody else. We only get one of these. We not promised the next day. We not promised tomorrow. We not promised 5 minutes from now. So you got to live your life and keep it real for you. Do what makes you happy, as long as it doesn't, impede on anybody else, as long as it doesn't, cause any negativity to anybody else. And if it causes negativity to somebody else, they don't like you because you're enjoying your life, then that's their problem. That's not yours. So keep it real with yourself first and foremost. And by keeping it real with yourself, you can keep it real with other people. Anyways, guys, I hope everybody's having a great day out there. I just wanted to get this one off my chest, because like that whole keeping it real thing, me and my homeboy G was talking about that, and that whole keeping it real thing is just like, man, it's the whole like ideology behind keeping it real, like not the actual words, but the mentality behind quote unquote keeping it real can be extremely toxic. So, be careful when you listen to people talking about keeping it real, because a lot of times when they talking about keeping it real, that actually means keeping it fake, 100% fake too. But anyways, guys, hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.